Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. We're very glad that you're interested in product information management, more specifically today and in this video in the PIM project of one of our awesome customers, SLV. In this video, we'll be talking more specifically, or our guest will be talking more specifically about the PIM project at our Germany-based customer SLV and how they manage to centralize product data to keep up with evolving customer needs. We're super happy to have Oliver Kleinjans with us, Team Leader Sales Master Data Center at SLV, with us right now to talk about this project, the why, the how, the what, and to deliver exclusive insights. Just so that you have a name to go with the voice you're hearing right now, my name is Mael Roth. I'm Marketing Manager for Central Eastern Europe at Akineo, and I'm basically only here today to roll out the red carpet for a great customer and the person of Oliver. The stage is yours, Oliver.
Thanks for the warm welcome, Mael. Starting to present myself so that you get a good idea of what we are talking about in the next few minutes. Like Mael mentioned, my name is Oliver Kleinjans. I'm a team leader at the SLV regarding the Sales Master Data Center. I have 8 years of experience at the SLV Lighting Group, and I'm an expert in the digitalization of master data for international companies. Regarding this prioritization of my tasks, I came to the conclusion that I need a clear focus, and this focus is to achieve the best customer experience regarding the product data that we offer to our customers. So for the next minutes, I'll talk about our implementation project, but also on our learnings that we had during this project time. So you will get a few insights regarding the project, but also what we learned during this. So for the first step, I would like to tell you about a bit the SLV brand, that you get a nice and clear understanding of what we do. SLV is a B2B brand for professional luminaires, and we placed ourselves in the high-end middle market, like you can see on the chart on the right-hand side. We are market leader in this price performance segment, but we also work with exclusive designer products to have a much higher range at the upper range portfolio at the SLV group. So what kind of lighting fixtures do we sell? We sell lighting fixtures which could be used in your home, which could be used in hospitality, but also in offices, shops, or furthermore retail, and of course outdoor luminaires. So this large assortment is sold by us nearly at the complete globe. Like you can see on this slide here, we have about 15 subsidiaries. We have about 4 members of the lighting group, which means these are their own brands. And we have 19 very strong international partnerships. And sum up, all of this leads us to the possibility that we can sell our product at the moment at nearly 100 countries worldwide. Talking about the real interesting stuff, our PIM implementation project. As part of our major project within the lighting group, which is called digitalization, we came to the conclusion that we definitely need a centralized system to manage all our product data. Therefore, we came to the result that this should be a PIM system, of course. After doing some market analysis regarding all this PIM system which are currently on the market, we had our first initial contact with Akineo at November of 2017. After we came to the conclusion that Akineo is our preferred partner for the PIM system implementation, we got advised by Akineo regarding their strong partnership network to an implementation partner which is called Reply Portal Tech. By having all the contracts done in the beginning of December 2017, we started the real project work in the mid of December 2017. Now, based on our preparation for this project, we managed to go live with our PIM system at the beginning of March 2018. So as you can see here, it's a project time of 3 months from zero to a live PIM system, which we managed to get done by the usage of Akeneo and the strong Akeneo partner network. So, hints from my side, because 3 months is really a very strong time schedule for going live with a PIM system. So what would be the best advices? From my perspective as project leader regarding the PIM implementation, there are 2 major points that you have to focus on. One point is the project team that you need to have and to build up at your own company. It's a good decision to go by a very small project team. So you only have a very few stakeholders within this project team. For example, at the SLV group, we used our research and development, of course, our master data, but also marketing, digital, analytics, sales, and quality departments to get a very fast and efficient project team to go for a go live target within 3 months.
Oliver, quick question right here. I cannot see the IT department, which could be surprising to some of our viewers and listeners. I can't see it in the graph. Is that on purpose?
It also was surprising for us that we don't need the IT department as a stakeholder in the project. After planning the project, we came to the conclusion that we just need their support regarding one decision. It's either we should go on-premise or either we should use the cloud instance. This was the only touch point we had with our IT department. Nowadays, IT departments are very busy managing all these systems which are in a company. This could be major systems like, for example, SAP, but this could also be smaller systems. Therefore, their resources are very limited, which makes it hard to do such an agile and speedboat project if IT department is one of the stakeholders. Therefore, they were happy that they are not a stakeholder within this project and that they only were involved in the decision to go by on-premise or to go by cloud installation. Another hint that I can give you regarding a real good project preparation. Based on the open source idea of Akeneo, you have the possibility to use the community edition of the Akeneo PIM system to prepare yourself in the best possible way before you start the project. By the usage of the community edition, you are able to clean your data, harmonize your data, structure your data, modelize it, but also build up the categories in exact the way that you use it when you want to start the implementation project of the Enterprise Edition. So all this stuff can be done before you really go into the project work. This will save you, based on my experience, up to 3 to 4 months during the complete project. So what were the major achievements regarding the implementation of the PIM system? Like I mentioned, one thing, we have one system of record with all available product attributes. Talking about the time before the PIM system, the data structure was very defragmented at the SLV group, which means we had product data in the SAP system, we had product data in other systems, we had product data in Excel spreadsheets, we had some data in, for example, a technical leaflet that could be shared via our departments. So it wasn't centralized at one point, but with the implementation of PIM, we managed to have all the information in just one system. By having it in one system, all this product data is available at the complete SLV lighting group, which means it doesn't mind where you're placed. You could be a colleague from whatever, let's say France, and you have a complete access to all the product information that is necessary for your daily business. Another achievement was the increase of the possibility of easy enrichment regarding e-commerce specific product data. Like you can imagine, if you sell your products on whatever e-commerce channel you are talking about, you need some kind of long descriptional text, for example. This long descriptional text is based on specific product bullet points. So the marketing department needs these kinds of information to enrich e-commerce specific data, talking about a long descriptional text. But now they have it for the first time within just one system. So they can have a look at the bullet points and start by creating their content which they use for their e-commerce channels. And of course, our last but one of the biggest achievements, we got way faster in the communication with our customers regarding product data, and we not just got faster, we also made it very easy for us. So by just using Ekeneo standard exports, we managed to provide customer-specific product information with just one click. So how did we build up our ecosystem? I think it's very relevant that you get to the point that Ekeneo is not a standalone system. Ekeneo is a centralized part of a big ecosystem regarding your product data. At the beginning of our product, we came to the decision that we should have a top layer of leading systems which just push data into our Ekeneo system. So it's still task of these systems to manage the data, but they put it into our Ekeneo so that we have a 100% complete data set here. The systems could be, for example, our translation management, our digital asset management, our Microsoft instances, which all got connected using REST API technology to our Ekeneo system. But of course, we also need our business data within the Ekeneo system. And therefore, we also made the connection to our SAP SAP ERP system.
Oliver, quick question about SAP. We know SAP has a restrictive interface policy. Can you tell us a bit more about how you managed to connect the systems anyways?
Thanks for the question, Mal. Yeah, you're right. SAP is very restrictive on this kind of connection between SAP and other systems. You got two possible ways. Either you change your complete SAP system, which is a real big project itself, or you adapt to the SAP standard. We came to the conclusion that it's the best practice to go by the SAP standard, which is IDOC communication. So we get the product data as IDOC file from the SAP, put it into our clearing center, generate CSV files from these IDOCs, and use the import functionality from the Ekeneo system and pull, based on the cron job, the information from the CSV file into the Ekeneo system. So we didn't have to do any changes on our SAP system, which are very cost and time consuming, but we get the full range of information into the PIM system by the usage of the clearing center, which adapts IDOC to CSV format. So now that we have the complete product range centralized within the Ekeneo, we start our first step of validation, of course, because Ekeneo is the perfect tool therefore. After the product data has been validated, the enrichment process starts running. So all these kind of content which needs to be created to build up the best possible customer experience on your output channels is been done within the Ekeneo system based on the information which is coming from the systems in the background. And after this step of enrichment, of course, there's another step of validation. And after this one, we are ready to share our product data to all our export channel, which is the bottom layer on this slide here. Of course, this is just a small overview. Not all our systems are available here, but the most interesting one, in my opinion, are available. I focused on 4 systems regarding our targeting our customers, but also 2 systems targeting our own company. So let's start with the systems targeting at our customers. For example, within the SLV group, we still have the need to print catalogs because the market still demands catalogs from us. Now, it's not just catalogs that we do, it's also, for example, it could be a data sheet, or it could be a small leaflet or a brochure or a magazine, whatever. So we do quite a lot of print. Therefore, we implemented a database publishing process by the help of in-between. Just to give you a small example of how you may benefit from using a build-up or a construction like this. For example, for web shops or also for customer communication, you have the need to share data sheets with your customers. So based on our assortment, product data is about to change. It changes once a week, once a day, whatever it might be. But we implemented a functionality which tracks the change of an attribute within the Akeneo system. And by the tracking of this change, a new process starts fully automated. This process then starts the creation of a new data sheet in 14 different languages within our database publishing module. After the creation of these data sheets, they are stored within our digital asset management system, transferred to our Akeneo system, and from the Akeneo system we are able to share these new data sheets, for example, with our e-commerce platform. So just a small example how you may benefit and fully automate, for example, a small print process like data sheets. One other export channel is customer-specific data. Of course, Akeneo as a standard offers you the possibility to do product data exports. But now that you got a few thousand customers, you can't manage to do all these exports by the use of the Akeneo PIM system because it's just way too much therefore. We came to the conclusion that it's necessary to use a middleware therefore. So the middleware receives all the product information from the Akeneo PIM system, and we do the transformation and manipulation of the data within the middleware to meet the customer's expectations regarding data sharing with them. So for example, there could be a customer that just needs, for example, the product identifier, the name, the color, the price, and the stock level. And he needs this as a CSV file twice a day. So this is a possible request that we receive by our customers that we fulfill by the usage of this kind of middleware. Another export channel that we have is our digital assortments. Digital assortments mean we are talking about European standards in data communication for our customer group of wholesalers. If we want to share our product data with these wholesalers, we have to keep to this European standard, which is called BME-CAT, classified to E-team, which is in fact a real big XML file, if you know perhaps what I'm talking about. Before we use the Akeneo PIM system as centralized data holding system in the center of everything here, we had to use separate Excel spreadsheets. We had to use our ERP. We had to use Microsoft instances as sources. So there were quite a lot of sources that we need to filter our information from and then build up this BME catalog by hand, which was very time consuming and could take up to 1 year manual work, which we had to do here. Nowadays, by the usage of all the functionalities from the Akeneo system, we nearly managed to create sudden catalogs like these on customers' demand. So in fact, there are just a few exports that we have to do from our IKNew system and a bit of manual checking and validation afterwards. And this leads us to creating the content in a very fast way for our wholesalers so they can import it into their ERP systems and have full access to all of our product data with the current assortments. Regarding one of our last export channels here is our e-commerce platform. After we implemented the IKNew system, we came to the conclusion that it could be a good idea to implement a new e-commerce platform at the SLV group, and we came to the conclusion that Spryker is our perfect solution therefore. There were quite a lot of reasons, but the most interesting ones in my opinion, by the usage of the Spryker Commerce OS, we managed to have a headless system which is connected via a standardized connector using API technology to get all the product information from the IKNew system. So therefore we could gather from all the work that we did for the IKNew system regarding categories, attributes, filter attributes, and all this stuff, and just put it into our e-commerce system, which was a very interesting and intuitive experience that we did here regarding the connection between IKNew and Spryker. Okay, but not only talking about customer targeting export channels, of course, we also share the IKNew information into internal systems. This could be, for example, our own analytics. Standard analytic tool at the SLV is SAP Business Warehouse, which gets all the information from the SAP system. But nowadays, of course, you also want to do analysis on product information. But SAP doesn't have all this kind of product information because it only has the business data regarding the products. Therefore, we enriched the analytics tool by the information which was taken from the IKNew system, which in fact means we are now able to do analyzing on all the attributes, on all the categories that we have within our IKNew system. But not only reporting is interesting, but also our CRM adaptation is interesting. Sales agents like to work just with one system based on my experience. So we had to find a solution for them to share all the product information that they need for your daily business by the usage of our Salesforce CRM system. And therefore, we built up an API connection to our IKNew, which shares all the relevant, not all the product information what is available, but all the relevant information into our CRM system. And to be honest, our sales agents are really quite happy with it because now they get one system with all the information that they need regarding customers and product data in just one system. So not just achievements and good results that we managed to do regarding our customers, but also on an internal perspective here. To give you some facts and numbers regarding our project, like I mentioned, we had a good preparation using the IKNew Community Edition. After we went very deep into this Community Edition and checked our book of requirements against the community, but also the enterprise, which we of course needed because we need all this functionality regarding right permissions and so on, we came to the conclusion that our complete book of requirements can be handled by IKNew standard by 99%. So there wasn't a big effort in doing customization in the system, in fact, which leads us to our major benefit that we are very early adapters if it comes to a new version of the IKNew, because we don't have to check so many functionalities which got customized within our IKNew instance. Within our IKNew instance, we have 8,000 products at the moment for 31 locals, I think, for 700 attributes. Talking about the 700 attributes, nearly, let's say 60 of them are localizable, which gives you a good result of the mass of translation data that we have within our IKNew system. In the past, the translation took quite a long time at the SLV. But after the implementation of this ecosystem that you have just seen, we managed to create a time saving of 80% during our translation process.
Oliver, 80% time saving in the translation process, that's massive. Can you tell us like a bit more on how you achieved that? Like how did you measure it?
Of course I can. In the times before we used the Akeneo PIM system, we created our product content in German and English language. After the content was created, we collected the content from all the systems, put it into an Excel spreadsheet, shared it with our translation agency. They did the translation job, sent back the Excel file to SLV headquarters in Germany. SLV headquarters separated this Excel file into the different languages, shared these Excel files with our subsidiaries because they do the quality check for the translation. When they were fine with the results of the translation, we put the translations from the Excel file into all the systems. If they weren't fine, we had to do a correction workflow with our translation agency again by the usage of Excel spreadsheet. So this was very time consuming. And by doing all this with email communication and Excel attachments to the emails, it was also not just time consuming, but we also had a very high risk of failures that might possibly happen during this process. After the implementation of the PIM project, we still create our content in German and English language by the usage of REST API technology. Our German and English text then go to our translation agency. They do the translation, put them back into the proposals area of our PIM system. The subsidiaries then have a look at these kind of proposals, accept them or decline them. Declining is only possible if you also do a correction on this, which leads to a process that a new translation is done by our agency, which will result in a new proposal, which is then most of the times accepted. So we don't do any kind of email communication with Excel attachments anymore. It's all done by the usage of the Akeneo interface and the functionality of the proposals, which is a standard of the Akeneo. So if you now take the time analytics regarding the old standard and the new standard that we implemented, this will lead us to the result of 80% time saving. Okay, what else have we done? Like I mentioned, Akeneo is the one and only leading system and centralized system if you want to have a look at all of our product data. Therefore, we have up to nearly 200 daily users in our systems which need the information from the Akeneo to do their daily business on the products. These daily users are onboarded into the system with an effort of 1.5 hours to do the onboarding with them. This could also be possible because from our perspective, Akeneo has the best user interface regarding PIM systems which are currently on the market. Talking about other figures here, we did a complete workflow integration, like I've talked about when we were at our ecosystem slide. The information is coming from the leading system, is validated, is enriched, is again validated, is shared into our export channels. All this is done within the PIM system using Akeneo standard again. And by the usage of this workflow, for example, we managed to be way faster in our creation of BME catalog. Like I've talked about recently regarding our export channel, we have a time saving of nearly 70% regarding this export channel. Based on the strong Akeneo partnership environment, we have 2 marketplace plugins in use at the moment. This is one marketplace plugin which we have for our Spryker e-commerce and one which we use for our translations. We have 10 interfaces, some of them that you have seen on my slide before, and we all managed to get it done within 3 months of project time. So hopefully this was interesting for you because this is the end of my presentation. It was a pleasure from my side to share my experience, but also my learnings that we did during this implementation project. And I wish you all the best luck to be successful during your implementation project. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Oliver. That was super interesting. Thank you for delivering those insights on the PIM project at SLV. For us at Akineo, it's also one of the absolute best practice projects that we want and should highlight, and that we want to highlight. So many thanks to all listeners and viewers for having, checked out what the PIM project at SLV was like. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We're, of course, happy at Akineo to answer those questions. And thank you very, very much, Oliver.
You're welcome.